Learning English doesn't have to be boring. When you enjoy a story, your brain relaxes and starts picking up the language in a natural, powerful way. You hear how sentences flow, how words connect, and how emotion builds meaning. If you like this kind of learning, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell. We have a new story every single day. The morning light in Barcelona was warm but soft, and the streets were still quiet when Amir stepped outside. The buildings around him rose gently into the sky, painted in colors that looked like they had been touched by the sun for years. There was something peaceful in the air, like the city hadn't woken up fully yet. And that was exactly how Amir liked it. He didn't have a map. He didn't have a plan. That morning, he had only one goal: to find the most beautiful balconies with flowers. Not big tourist spots. Not famous places. Just balconies. The small ones, the forgotten ones. The ones that people filled with love and green leaves and soft petals. That's what he wanted. So he walked. At first, the balconies were simple, iron railings, maybe a small plant or two. Some were empty, their windows closed, curtains drawn. Others had life, shoes drying in the corner, a towel hanging over the side, or a small flag moving with the wind. But then he turned a corner and stopped. There was a small balcony on the second floor, with 3 large flower pots hanging outside. Bright red flowers spilled over the edge like they were falling toward the street. A vine climbed the wall beside it, holding on with soft green fingers. The balcony itself wasn't perfect. The paint was chipped. The railing had a little rust. But it was alive. It told a story. Amir smiled and kept walking. Now that he had found one, he began to notice more. On a narrow street, he saw a yellow balcony covered in white flowers. On a quiet square, he found a wooden balcony full of herbs, rosemary, thyme, and mint, all growing together. The smell reached the street, soft and fresh. Sometimes he had to tilt his head all the way back to see the top floors. Other times, the balconies were just above his head. He imagined the people who lived inside. He wondered who watered the plants, who chose the colors, who opened the window in the morning and stepped out just for a minute. Some balconies had little chairs, maybe for sitting in the evening and watching the world go by. Some had tiny statues. One had a small wind chime that made a soft sound when the breeze passed through. Another had string lights, even though it was daytime and they weren't turned on. As he walked through the city, the balconies became like little surprises waiting around every corner. He turned down quiet streets, followed alleys, crossed small bridges, and stopped often, just to look up. He didn't take photos. He didn't count them. He just watched and let the colors and shapes stay in his memory. Barcelona was loud in some places. Motorbikes, voices, music. But when he looked up, it became quiet again. The flowers didn't make noise. The balconies didn't ask for attention. They just were. And somehow, that made them even more beautiful. He passed an old building with a long row of small balconies. Each one had a different plant: lavender, ivy, cactus, roses. It was like the people living there had each decided to bring their own little world outside. And together they made something special. Amir sat on a bench in a small plaza. A tree grew nearby, and birds moved in its branches. Across from him, an apartment building had balconies on every floor. One had a bicycle resting against the wall. Another had a cat sitting beside a pot of marigolds. The cat looked at Amir, blinked slowly, then turned away. Time passed without him noticing. The sun moved higher. Shadows changed. People walked by. Children played with a ball. An old man fed breadcrumbs to pigeons. But Amir just sat there watching the balconies. He didn't need anything else. That day wasn't about doing something big. It was about noticing small things. About seeing life in the quiet corners. About feeling peace in a city full of movement. When the sky started turning orange, Amir walked back to his place. His feet were tired, but his mind felt full. He didn't remember every street name or every flower type. But he remembered the feeling, the calm joy of searching for balconies with flowers. He didn't need souvenirs. He didn't need photos. The best part of his day was already inside him. You just learned English in a way that's powerful and fun. Through Amir's slow walk through Barcelona, your brain picked up useful language, sentence rhythm, and natural structure without stress. This is why stories help so much. And the best part? We do this every day. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you never miss a story. Now we'd love to hear from you. Have you ever noticed something small and beautiful in a city? Tell us about it in the comments. Let's share our moments.